Coach Teresa Ford here, and this is the Guiding You Home podcast. This is a thought-provoking and often humorous approach to moving you closer to the only one who can genuinely help you live a life of abundance and prosperity. Sound good? Yeah, it's you that needs to go within so you can sit in the driver's seat of your life, co-creating with God. So make room for more light and knowledge. As you continue to listen, you will discover elements of how to lead with your inner light, how to act on your specific promptings, and how to follow your spiritual intuition so you can fulfill the measure of your creation. Thanks for being here, and let's dive in. Welcome. Thank you. Gosh, I really appreciate you listening. I know that those of you that are tuning in are here because you want some further light and knowledge. You're looking for something. So I'm hoping that what I am bringing to you today is something that will resonate, something that maybe not the words that I say, but the feelings and the impressions you get will be perfect for what you're seeking. Today, I am talking a little bit about energetic reflection. Like, what are you reflecting from your light? You know that scripture that talks about not putting a candlestick under a bush because it's not very productive there, and we need to set, a light on the hill. Yeah. What are we doing to be the light on the hill? What are you doing to receive that higher vibrational learning so that your light shines brighter? What are you doing to emit the light that is in you? I think this is such an interesting idea because we tend to think, I've got to be smarter or wiser or brighter or do more praying or more meditation. And while those two things are absolutely true, we also have to look at every area of our life. We have to look in the corners. We have to look under the bed. We have to look, what is it that we are doing that is not aligned with who we are, that dims our light? So it's where are we placing our candle? So usually the things that you focus on, you get more of, right? That's kind of the concept that we talk quite a bit about these days. And when you are shining your light, it's because you're focused on something positive, something good. Let's just start with, when you're hungry, what do? You ask yourself, what sounds good? You ask yourself a good question because it's going to cause you to focus. First, your stomach growled. That got your attention, got your focus. Then you ask yourself a question, what sounds good? And then you came up with an answer. So what sounds good is coming from your energetic vibration, because food doesn't have a sound, not unless you're standing right next to it. Or someone's chewing loudly. The energetic vibration in your body is telling you, I'm tired. Big bowl of cereal, big bowl of pasta. Or it's telling you, I'm happy, which might be a big bowl of pasta, but it also might be some alive foods. So alive foods are those foods that are still in the same form they were when they were growing. So off the cattle farm, out of the river, off a tree, out of the ground, right? Those are alive foods. There's one ingredient. A potato is a potato. An egg is an egg. There's not a mixture of ingredients like pasta, bread, cereal. Some of those foods, this goes back to my fitness days, that people are like, well, what's wrong with carbs? Listen, if you're tired, you eat carbs like they're going out of style, and your body doesn't have enough time to process them and tell you when you're full. Because carbs are fluffy. They're fluffy foods. They don't have weight to them, not like an egg or a hamburger patty or even vegetables. No one has ever gone off the rails eating broccoli. Like, it's not a thing, right? Like, your body's like, hey, that's enough broccoli. I'm good to go. Thank you so much. But with pasta, because it's fluffy, or bread or cereal, whatever the carb is, because it's fluffy, you can eat 3 to 4 times more beyond when your stomach was full, because you don't know it till later. You don't know it till you're 4 bowls later. And that's an exaggeration, obviously, but you may pour a bowl for 3 cups of cereal in a bowl, which is pretty typical. A serving is a cup. And so you've gone way deep into the cereal, and you will eat the bowl gone. Like, nobody really leaves a whole lot of cereal behind. And that's just because it's fluffy. Plus, it tastes super good to your tongue. So your brain's like, yeah. And your stomach's like, ooh, getting full. But your brain is not checking for fullness. It's checking for more yummy bites. So when energetically you're asking yourself, what sounds good? If you're tired, stressed, uncomfortable in some way, even when we're sick, if it's not the flu, we will tend to gravitate towards foods that are fluffier. But those are also low energy foods, low vibrationally energetic foods. So that's different, because if you're like a marathoner and you're going to go run a race, you want to carb up, right? There's some science there. But most of us are not marathon runners. Like, we're not gearing up to go 26 miles in the next half an hour. So when that's happening, you got to look at your life. Like, where am I hiding my light? Where is my energy low? What is it that I'm stressed about? What am I trying to control instead of going with the flow? And usually stress has to do with needs going unmet. So if you haven't heard that episode, but I'm going to say it again. If you are stressed, your needs are going unmet. So what needs are those? What is it that you need that you're not getting? That's really, really important to assess. Because if you do, you're going to choose a different food. You're going to choose something that's better for you, not worse. And when you choose better foods consistently on a regular basis, what happens? Oh yeah, your health improves. And when you feel good, what else happens? You do good. You're out there. You're meeting people, helping people, looking to serve the whole. You're doing things that make you feel good in all areas of your life. When you have your health, you have everything. When you don't have your health, you don't have much. Like, try being super productive, happy, and enjoying your life when you have the flu. No, that's not going to happen. But what about a disease? Oh, even harder, because it's not going to be the 3 to 5 days of recovery. It's going to be longer. There's a bigger process, and there might be long-lasting difficulties or symptoms that you have to deal with for a much longer period of time. So when you're not feeling good, there's not as much of your impact out there in the world helping people do what they want to do on a higher level. Like, whatever your gifts are that you're trying to amplify in this life, it's going to be done much better when you're vibing on a high-flying plane, right? So food is just one way, but food is a really big indicator of where things are in the rest of your life, right? If you're like, well, they say the best diets or the most frequent diets ever done are on Mondays. Because the rest of the week, like, if we make a mistake on Monday and we start beating ourselves up mentally, and then we're like Tuesday, we're like, okay, let's try again. And then things go south, and then Wednesday and Friday. And then we're like, yeah, there's no redeeming ourselves. It's like, I don't know how many people actually redeem themselves on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday if Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday were hard. What's your week like? So let's talk about this on another level. Self-talk. Are you high vibing, or are you slowly hiding your light under a bushel? Are the kids driving you nuts and you're losing yourself based on what their emotional reactions are, and so you're disintegrating to their level, and now everybody's screaming and crying. Don't worry, that's happened in my life. So I'm not I'm not pointing fingers here. I'm just relating. But maybe you're starting a new job. Maybe you're in a different relationship, or the relationship's not going well, and it's ending. Or maybe you're just in a place where your friends are struggling and you're carrying some emotional weight for them. What is happening that's either helping you rise and lift the world up, or pulling you down, and a few people are coming with you? What is happening in your life? What do you consume? So we don't just consume food, but we consume TV. So if we're consuming TV, what are we consuming? How much are we consuming? How many times do we say, I don't have time for that, but I have time for this? Meaning I don't have time to serve, or I don't have time to spend with certain people that have, that are meaningful to us, but we have time to surf the internet or check our, all of our accounts, see who said what and what's going on out there. If it lifts you up and you walk away going, yeah, that's a good idea, I love it, I'm on it, I'm doing that, you're on the right track. That's a good way to spend your time. You did something that has an energetic ROI, means a return on investment. You invested your time in something that fed you and lifted you, and now you're ready to roll. If you're spending time on things that are just, it's the worries of the world, it's the conflict in the world, it's the opposing sides in the world, it's the unbelievers that are making you doubt. Like, what is really happening here as you look through your social media, as you're watching YouTube videos, as you're even the fun stuff? Like, there's some fun stuff out there that we're consuming, but our time is just ticking away. And sometimes we watch fun little videos of kitties and doggies doing their tricks and having fun, but and we're using that because we're avoiding something else. We're procrastinating. So it depends on energetically why you're looking at your phone, why you're spending time on TV, why you're looking through social media. If it's feeling unfulfilling, that's the candle under the bushel. But if it's feeling creative, if it's got that element of, I've got a new idea, a bigger idea, a better idea, and now I'm going to implement, I'm going to write it down, I'm going to journal, I'm going to meditate on it, I'm going to take it and use it for my good and the good of others. Now that's a totally different reason. So can you hear it? Can you feel it? Procrastinating on social media and creativity on social media. Very different. There's even accounts out there that are admonishing people to get off social media. Get off. You should spend more time with your family. Yet they are on social media telling you to get off and spend time with your family. I'm suggesting that you vet this out in your heart and mind for you. I'm suggesting that if you want to be a high-vibing person, that you partake of high-vibing materials, resources. So whether that's food or intellectual property, that you're coming out for the better. You're not using food because you're trying to have more downtime and time away from your stress, or you're using food to avoid or procrastinate something that you really need to deal with and get on with. They are very different reasons for partaking and consuming energy. And it's how you feel on the inside that matters. That's where the energy matters. Like if you're having a banana, but you're also surfing the internet and being lost, getting lost in what you're looking at, and an hour and a half goes by and you didn't get the stuff done that you needed to get done, how are you going to feel? Yeah, the banana was a good idea, but the reason for not getting work done is not a good idea. So you were opposing yourself. Does that feel higher or lower? Yeah. So you're kind of getting the idea here. If you're hanging out with your friends and you're consuming their energies, who are your friends? They say you are the sum total of your interactions, of your 5 most often interactions. Are your friends uplifting, or are they gossiping? Are they complaining? What are you partaking of? And are you allowing it? Sometimes our vibrational energy, our candle, if you will, is either under a bushel or out for the world to see, depending on our agreement with the people we're hanging out with. If you can stay in an energetic, high-vibing place while somebody complains and moans and groans and gossips, well, good for you. You're probably very affected by it very little, right? But if you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to be in agreement here because my friends will like me better, so I'm going to be where they are, and I'm going to also complain, and I'm going to share what I know about that person, and I'm going to talk trash about somebody. If you're matching their low energy, you just consumed a great big chocolate cake, the whole thing of it. And you're not going to feel real good about it. Just doesn't feel good. It just is like, yeah. If it leaves room for something more satisfying, something else. So let's just talk about chocolate cake. There is nothing wrong with having a piece of chocolate cake. Let me just say that. Like, gosh, life is short. Eat cake. But it's the reasons. So when I'm saying, if somebody served you chocolate cake every day for dinner, every day, at some point you're going to be like, you know what? I kind of feel like I'm not getting everything that I need out of the food groups. I feel like my body probably would feel better if I had some fruits and vegetables mixed in with all my chocolate cake. That's sort of what it's like when you're, let's say, dragging along at a job that you absolutely hate, but the fear of leaving that job or vetting out other opportunities, going outside of your comfort zone, scares you to death. You're partaking of low energy thoughts about why you're so scared and why it's not going to work out, or why it might, burn a bridge with the current employment you have. What is it that's happening in you when you consume something? Consume news reports, consume, like I've talked about, low energy foods, other people's energy, overthinking your own stuff, staying up late and not getting enough sleep. Can we go there just for a half a second? Yeah, let's go there. If you're staying up late and trying to get more done on less sleep, check in with yourself. How's that going? Is it getting you where you want to go? Because if you're waking up Mach 10 with your hair on fire and you're like, this is amazing, and your adrenals are just going crazy, it might be working for you to get less sleep, where you can't hardly wait to get up in the morning. That doesn't happen for too many people. I'm just going to put that out there. I used to belong to that arena where people were like, yeah, I send an emails out at 10, 11 o'clock at night. I go to bed. I get up at 4 o'clock and I'm on my way and I'm just rocking and rolling. It's just so awesome. And I know I can't be stopped. I'm getting my workout done at 4 a.m. By 5 a.m. I've got all my emails answered. By 6 a.m. It's like, wow, that's great. And you're probably 20 and go get them. Yes. But for those of us that have had children and understand sleeplessness on an unprecedented level, and those of us after menopause and all the best things that come later in life, what does it feel like now because I've had full-on adrenal fatigue. I have had thyroid issues. I have had weight gain, weight loss, all the things. And it depends on the level of which your life is operating, what feels good and what doesn't. Because I've had times in my life where I couldn't wait to get out of bed. It was true for me. And I had things to do and people to see and places to go, and it really, really felt good. Other times, I thought I was going to die from being tired. I literally had moments in my life where I'd have this big wave of exhaustion wash over me, and the thought would hit me, if I laid down on the ground right now, I would die. Like my heart would stop. I'm that tired. And for somebody that is kind of prim and proper in public settings, I would go to church and slump down in the pew and prop my knees up on the pew in front of me and rest my head on the pew behind me because I was so tired. Like, that's not how you sit at church. Like, most of us don't do that. But that's how I was sitting at the time, that I was so tired and I was not listening to my body. If you want to be high vibing, sleep. You want to lose weight? Sleep. You want to have clarity? Sleep. You want to be able to meditate well? Sleep. Sleep is the hormonal reset button, and you can't get away from it. It is imperative you get the sleep you need. Sometimes that comes in 5 hours tonight and 7 tomorrow. Sometimes that comes at 7 tonight and 9 tomorrow. Sometimes it comes with like 3 and then 5 the next day. But your goal is to at least, here's the thing, remember we talked about food, we talked about the reasons why we do food and we do no sleep and we do social surfing, is because we're trying to relieve our stress. Stress is needs going unmet. Oddly, we stay up extra late and we are still tired in the morning. How's this happening? What is that? Yeah, it's because you're avoiding sleep, which makes things worse. You're staying up late and expecting to get more done the next day. And staying up late usually is accompanied by more TV, more social media, more food. You want to reset and then reset again. Plan on going to bed sooner. Just plan on it. Plan on going to bed sooner and then get the sleep you need. And let me just let you in on a secret. I tell, when I say my prayers at night, I ask God, I just tell him that I would like him to wake me up and tell me when it's time to go to work. So sometimes it's 3 o'clock in the morning. My eyes pop open. I always know if it's God or if it's my sleep REM cycles is if my eyes don't burn. If they're not burning, it's God. I'm like, okay, I will get up and I will go and find out why you woke me up, and I'll get some work done. So there's that. And that, I'm telling you, those are some high vibing mornings. Those are mornings that my candle is on fire. But if it's a sleep cycle issue, relax, find more ways to relax. Usually when you start yawning in the evening, it's somewhere right around, 7 p.m., 7 or 8. That's your bedtime. Figure out how to get the kids in bed sooner so you can go to bed sooner too. But that's when your hormones are saying I'm tired, and if you push past it, your cortisol rises. It makes it, you're just wired and tired, and you just very hard to go to sleep after that. So if you want to feel better, vibe better, put your workout into the world in a more efficient and effective way, put your candle on a hill for the whole world to see, you gotta vibe higher. You gotta figure out those areas of your life where it's low energy and ask yourself, is this what I want out of life? Is this what I'm here to do? Is this helping me meet my goals? Because if it's not, check and see why. It's always the why. It's always the why. It's like 10:30 at night. I'm sending all my texts out to everybody that I didn't respond to all day. You don't owe anybody anything, by the way. You don't owe them a text that minute. You can text them whenever you're good and ready. The next day is a good idea. If it wasn't important when they sent you the text, it can't be that important to lose sleep over it, which is literally what you're doing when you're texting at 10:30 at night, 11 o'clock, right? But ask yourself, what is it I'm doing? Am I telling myself I'm way behind, I didn't get enough done? Or someone's going to be disappointed in me, so I've got to lose sleep and do this for them right now. That's stressful. That's low energy. So maybe you need to sift and sort on a higher level. What is truly the most important thing? What's really important? Sometimes you have to ask yourself, like, if this was my last day on earth, what would be the most important things I would do right now? Those are actually the most important things. So if you want to be a high performer, high vibing, impactful individual, you got to look and see what you're consuming. Negative thoughts, difficult beliefs to overcome, believing that you're going to let people down, believing that you're not enough. What kind of TV are you listening to? Is it lifting you up or taking you down further into your worries and your fears? Social media, when's it happening? Why is it happening? What kind is happening? Lifting you up? Shaking you down? Your job is to be a co-creator with God. That's it. So my guess is that when you're high vibing, you're on track with God's plan for you, your ability to hear it, your ability to speak with Him, and your ability to let the things in you've been asking for. And that, when you have those things coming in and you're receiving all the good stuff, that's where you have an influence. That's where your impact happens. That's when you really begin shining bright. So, yeah, light your candle and look to see if your flame is dwindling or growing, and that's going to give you all the information you need about living a brighter, happier, fully lit life in a manner that feels so good to you, but you know it also feels really good to God. That's what you're here to do. There's only one of you. Only you can impact the world the way you would do it. So, get your vibe on. Go partake of the good stuff so you can live with purpose and passion, and it just feels so, so good. Thanks for listening. I invite you to leave your feedback and share your aha moments as you listen to this podcast. Also, you can access more information or any of the programs, courses, or worksheets that I've mentioned on these episodes on my website at teresaford.life. Or what I would really love is for you to connect with me on Instagram at teresaford.coaching and on Facebook at Coaching with Teresa Ford, so I can give you more interesting insights and further coaching to help you fulfill the measure of your creation.